This is a solutions video for Algebra 3, page 463, question 14. The question says, show that x squared plus x plus 1 is greater than 0 for all values of x. And here's just a nice little bit of notation here at the end. This symbol here, the upside down A, just means all values. So it's really tempting to start messing around with this quadratic here and trying to factorize it, and then very quickly you learn, oh, actually, this is quite difficult to factorize. Can I actually even factorize it? So that mightn't be the best approach. Instead, what I want you to do is stop for a moment and have a think about what we mean when we say that a function is greater than 0. So that has a particular meaning. And it's a visual meaning. It means that our function is above the x-axis. Sometimes we'll encounter this being phrased as the function is always positive. And these three things all mean the same thing. So greater than 0, above the x-axis, always positive. So what would that look like then? So here's my x-axis. And if I have a quadratic that is always above the x-axis, well, it's going to look like this. So what does that make you think of? What they're really saying here in a slightly coded way is that this quadratic has no real roots, or at least we're asking to show that. So actually, this isn't really the inequality that we want to use at all. We want to use an inequality that refers directly to there being no real roots. So have a think back, what might that be? There's a formula for it. So if a quadratic has no real roots, then it follows the rule that b squared minus 4ac must be less than 0. So that's actually what we want to really work on. So we want to get our a, our b, and our c from our quadratic and substitute them into this particular inequality. So a is 1, b is 1, and c is 1. And we substitute it in and simplify. And we get that minus 3 is less than 0. And this is a true statement. So this tells us that for this particular quadratic, b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. So this tells us then that this quadratic has no real roots. So we can state that therefore x squared plus x plus 1 is greater than 0, or above the x-axis, for all values of x. There's something bugging me actually about the third last line. I'm going to go back and fix it now. I shouldn't really have said the greater than 0 part of that. I should have just said for x squared plus x plus 1, b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. It's a little bit different to some of the other questions that you encounter in 12.2, in that you don't have to factorize and try to solve out an inequality. They're just trying to make sure that you're making that connection between how a quadratic looks, where it's positioned, what types of roots it has, and the b squared minus 4ac inequality.